as you can see, we've already somewhat, got somewhat of a layout out of what an imaginary trunk measurements, we got from it. A speaker and its measurements, and the formula that we're gonna have to, have to make sure that cubic feet is inside here. So the speaker box is built very good and precise as possible to the numbers. The numbers got to match up at least a little bit. Real quick, this is a website that I use. I've been used for so many years. It is called the 12volt.com. Let's see. There it is, the 12volt.com. This thing right here has calculators, vehicle wiring, all kinds of stuff and everything, and I use this a lot. You can go ahead and click at the subwoofer calculator. It's going to bring you to that screen right here. It says subwoofer enclosure calculators, fraction to decibels, parallel, series, port length, and volume. This is going to be a key factor in designing boxes, fractions, and decibels. You're going to need to know, all that stuff. Another key number is, when you do the math on your own, 1728, that's always going to be the number you're going to divide all your dimensions to, so you can know how much airspace in there. Since we are building a Bandpass box, we're going to need a 3/4 inch wood, and I like to use 3/4 inch MDF. And every time you do that, you're putting the pieces together. So 2 pieces of MDF 1/4 inch together is just do 0.75 plus 0.75 equals 1.5. So the 1.5 number is when you join both of the pieces of 3/4 together. So what you're gonna have to do here is you're gonna have to insert all these numbers right here. You're going to figure out the inside airspace. You're gonna need to go ahead and subtract the 1.5 here, 1.5 here, and 1.5 here. Okay, so let's crunch those numbers real quick. I'm going to show you how pretty much accurate the website is versus us doing the actual math on a calculator. So first of all, we're going to go ahead and do 36 subtract 1.5. It's going to give us 34.5. If you guys are good with math, you can do this in your head. That's really awesome. Me, man, I suck. So I am going to go ahead and do the calculator. And these numbers are the internal numbers, On the same video, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to be doing the cutout sheet, so you guys know how it works and what numbers you have to crunch in order to get the cutout sheet and why. Okay. So all these numbers right here, these are all the internal numbers inside. So we're going to need to times all these numbers and then divide it by this number, and that'll give us the inside of airspace that we're looking for to match up to this 5 cubic feet. Real quick. So we're looking, this is our dimensions for our pretend trunk. We're using a 12-inch sub. So you're going to have to take into consideration the sub is a 12-inch face, but maybe with all the trim and along the front and the rubber gaskets or whatever, it's 13.5. And we'll say from the bottom of the seal of the driver to the magnet is 6 inches deep. So we're going to need to, have a 6-inch deep displacement, for it. This right here is the secret formula that we are going to use for this. For every sub, we are going to do 1 cubic foot. Since we're doing 2, we're going to need 2 sealed, for airspace for the sealed chambers. On the ported, where the port for the Bandpass is going to go, we're going to need 1.5. Since we're going to do 2 subs, we're going to need 3 cubic feet, adding up a total of 5 cubic feet together. But you got to figure you still need probably a little bit because of the port and braces that you are going to do inside the box as well. So that'll take up, so even if it's a little over, maybe even at the 6 line, man, that's still fine, because that'll give it that little extra oomph, to push that extra air out. Okay, so what we're going to do right now, we're going to go ahead and add these numbers together, and we are going to show you the cubic feet here, and then we're going to do it on there. So it is going to be 34.5 times the height is 15.5 times the width, it is 18.5 equals. That was the number that it gave us. Now let's go ahead and divide it by the secret number. Divided by 1728, and it is going to give us 5.72. So that whole imaginary trunk space measurement that we got is 5.72. We'll add the 5 in there just so we can be a little bit more specific, cubic feet. Okay, so that's on the actual calculator. You know, so figure our trunk, we have from wheel well to wheel well 36 inches. From height from the floor to the bottom of, we'll say, the rear deck, it is 17 inches with clearance. And then the width from the front to back, it is 20. And then, you know, we subtracted the 1.5, and, you know, we got the 35, 18.5, 15.5. We times it, you know, then we divided it by this number, and so we got a total of 5.725 cubic feet right now. All right, so now that we know that we got 5.725 cubic feet from doing actual calculations on the calculator, I'm going to show you how it works right here on the computer program. Here we're going to have to put, you know, you're going to have to find where it says volume, calculator, rectangular, square, enclosures. Okay. So right here, you're going to have to put the external dimensions of the box. So, because when you put this, calls for the external dimensions, and it's going to give you what the internal airspace is of the actual box. So we're going to go ahead, and where it says wide, we're going to put the actual externals dimension, which is going to be 36. The height of the external box, it's going to be 17, and the depth of it's going to be 20. Right here where it says thickness, we're going to have to put 0.75 because that's how thick our wood is that we're using. I like to use 3/4 inch MDF, and the fraction of 3/4 is 0.75. So we're going to go ahead and hit equals, and look, it gave us pretty much almost our same reading. 5.725, 5.725, so it's an exact number. So our numbers add up to the electronic, you know, generation of the numbers. So, you know, this website, like I said, it is useful, and right now I'm going to show you how useful it is, because the next step, what I am going to do, I'm going to show you how useful it is. So far, if I am explaining this pretty good, if you guys are actually learning something, you know, go ahead and comment, you know, let me know what you think. If you guys already feel the video and I'm explaining it to you and, you know, going a little bit deeper and giving you actual websites, you know, go ahead and subscribe, because like I said, I will be giving you guys so many tips on how to go the little extra mile and add those little extra touches, you know, just so your enclosures will be that good, you know. So don't forget to subscribe. You know, this is the beginning of many videos, and I'm here, you know, to give you guys a helping hand. And, you know, don't be shy, you know, leave the questions in the comment section. I will get back at you. If you actually want me to give you secret formulas or design you a speaker box, by all means, you know, comment, send me a DM on my Instagram. You know, towards the end of the video, my Instagram will be up again, so you can follow me on there. And like I said, I will, you know, give you box designs, give you my opinions. You know, if you ask me and stuff like that, you know, like I said, like, man, I'm all for it. You know, I'm here to help the car audio community, the car community, any type of thing that got to do with anybody, basically, you know, I got you, you know, so that's what we're here for. So go ahead and subscribe real quick, you know. So let's go back to the design. So since we already confirmed our numbers, and our numbers are matching up, let's go to the next part of it. When I build the box, we're gonna do a quick drawing of what looking from the box from the top would look like. So obviously this is a top view. This right here is one chamber, and this is another chamber, and we're going to call these the sealed chambers. Sealed. And this is going to be the ported area, because right here, usually whether it's in the front or in the top of the box, that's where your port would come out. And like I said, this is a quick entry level. We will get into, you know, where port displacement will go in a more advanced video when we measure a car, and I tell you which way would it go. Usually if we cut the rear deck or we go firing forward with it, but for today it's just on paper. So we're gonna go ahead and say, like I said, this is another thing here. Most people would just do this. Look, build a box, put a divider in it, and speaker right here, and you know, we'll say call these the magnets. That's the magnets, and do a port right there. No. That'll never build pressure. You'll hear nothing but the cone and all that stuff. What I like to do and what we're gonna do over here is this: sub there, sub here. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Okay. I like to fire both of the subs together, because then it'll build pressure and it'll all like shoot out like a cannon, and it's, you know, and as far back more as possible, so it can load up like a cannon and just shoot that base right out, you know. And then if you really want to go the extra mile, you know, you could always do a brace like that, so the sound waves can go, you know, boom, 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 you know, saying, to at least give it somewhat pressure. Or, you know, you can put a brace in the center from top to bottom to support, you know, the boxes, so man, that thing just pounds, you know what I'm saying. And then you can put like a brace, you know, going from here, you know, maybe, or top and bottom, and man, that would give you the best support, so that box lasts forever, and it gives you solid bass, like solid bass. So remember that. That's a quick tip. I like doing this V brace type right there, because, you know, when the sound waves go from here, they go back out, and if they go up and bounce off that, man, you got a perfect load. Back to the box. So we know our overall box gives us 5.725 cubic feet inside. So now what we need to do is figure out how much space we need here to equal 1 cubic foot. Okay, since we already know our sub that we're using, it is 6 inches deep, we are gonna have to, you know, make it at least six inches to fit inside here, you know, the depth. So what we're gonna do right now, we are gonna crunch some numbers. We are gonna go ahead and do this. So if it's 6, we need plus 1.5 to clear. So we need at least 7.5 to clear it, you know what I'm saying, so it sits perfect, so we don't have to worry about it. So we're gonna go ahead and, you know, every time you use this, you gotta clear it out. So for the width, we're gonna go ahead and put 8 just to round it off. The height overall is gonna be 17, and the depth, well, it's gonna go ahead and say it's 20.75, and that's gonna give us an estimate what the inner chamber looks like. So as you can see, you know, it is, you know, a little bit over. I mean, it's 1.7, not that bad. I mean, we can go ahead and use that number, because, you know, like I said, the box overall, the size was a little bit bigger, but that's still good, so it gives it a little bit more breathing room. And, you know, that extra 0.7, figure it's the braces inside, so that's perfect. So we'll say the depth that we need for it to clear, it is 8. So on the side right here, we'll write 8. Okay, so now we already know what our internals depth that we need for our seal chambers. So whatever's left over after you put the 8-inch depth, you know, right there for the inner chamber on both sides, whatever's left over, that's the remaining, you know. So let's go ahead and do the math. So if it gave us 1.7, we'll do, actually it gave us 1.07, so we're going to go ahead and do that times 2. So that's what the airspace that we got for both subs, which is pretty good. So now it's 2.14, so we'll do 5.1725, subtract 2.14. That is how much space we got in there, and that is very good, because, you know, you still got to figure, you got to put that port in it, the braces and all that stuff. So we are on the right path, guys. Those numbers look, you know, dead on. Don't be scared of that extra 5 right there, because that'll, you know, take, you know, in consideration of the port that's inside the box, you know. Okay, we're not going to get too much into the port today. I am going to show you, you know, how to figure out your port. but we're not going to go in too deep into that, just so you guys, you know, can learn the actual, you know, what it takes to design it. We will do another video probably next week on a little bit more advanced into the Bandpass box, so, and the port and everything, but today is just figuring out and show you just so you can get the hang of it. Okay, so now just so we know, our inner chambers need, we'll do sealed inner need to be a minus 1.5, so it is 6.5, so that's perfect, you know. 6.5, that's perfect. Okay, so then that the sub will just sit right in there nice and compact, and that thing will jam. Now let's go and figure out the port. Since, real quick, you're gonna need a 75 square inch port, by 10 inches long. You know, just to figure that out, just so I can show you. Obviously, you know, you're gonna have to do for a quick port, just so you know you can get a used to, you know, what it is. You're just gonna have to figure out this number right here. This equals 75 square inches. So for an port, an imaginary port, we'll do 7.5 times 10. 7.5 times 10 equals 75. So our port, our imaginary port, can be 10 wide, and that'll be wide, and the height can be the 7.5 inches, and then with 10 inches deep inside, where it would be from the inside going out to the outside, so it's 10 inches deep. So now that's our port. The whole face of it, if you were to do the 10 times 7.5, is going to equal 75, and that is our square inch port. But like I said, we'll get into the port in another video, but today it's just understanding, you know, what it takes to design the box, you know. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do the cut list for it, just so you guys can know. For the cut, you're going to need a top and a bottom. We're going to do the sides of the box and the inner chambers. So obviously for the top and bottom, we're going to have to do the external dimension. So that we'll say for the top width, we're going to need 36 times 20. You're going to need two of those guys, because it's top and bottom, and then, you know, you line everything up, you sit the bottom piece down, and you work from there up. You know, we'll do another video on building just a box and showing you guys how to do that. The sides of the box, since, you know, all the pieces are going to go together, the insides need to be, you know, 1.5 inches shorter, so it'll fit when you put the front piece and the back piece on. So the sides would consist of, we would need those guys. Width would be 18.5. The height is going to be 15.5, because when you put that top and bottom on it, it's going to equal up that 17. See what I'm saying? So, you know, the width is 36 inches for the top and bottom, 36 by 20 for the top and bottom. The size of it is going to be 18.5 times 15.5. All right, the inner chambers are going to be the same thing as the sides, 18.5 by 15.5. So when you cut these, you're just basically going to cut 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? You know, because, you know, you're going to have your bottom, sides, and then, you know, basically the same size that you're doing for the sides, you're going to put them on the inside. You know, then, you know, you cut your speaker holes out as far back, and, you know, you put the subs in there like that, and you build it so it's the square. Okay, so that would be your cut list. If you were, you know, to go to Home Depot or, you know, cut it on your own, this would be your dimensions that you would need to build that box. The port, real quick, you would have to do, you know, the port, we'll do real quick, 7.5 by 10, but we're already gonna have to do the we're gonna have to add it. So 7.5 plus 1.5 equals 9. So this would have to be 9, and then the height would have to be 11. So then you would have to need 2 pieces of wood for the port. We'll do port, top and bottom are going to be 9 by 11 and a half. You're going to need 2 of those, and you're just going to need the sides, which is going to be 11. It's going to be the actual 10 by 10, so it'll sit inside it, you know, and then, you know, that's the port. But like I said, we're going to get into the port in another video, but today was just understanding a little bit and knowing the math on it. So basically now you have your cut list, and you got to figure out, and then you build it. As you build, and some of it may change up, some of it may not. You may have to grind the box so it'll sit in there perfect, do this and that. But, you know, for the foremost part of it, you know, this is just what it consists of, and now you would be ready to go ahead and start building, and, you know, having a trial and error, you know, trying to see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So your next box would be, you know, you learn from something from this box to bring it onto the next box and to make it a little bit more louder, more stronger, and everything. I hope all this, you know, helped you out a little bit. It gave you a little bit new information. Like I said, this is just a beginning, you know, showing you what it takes with the math. If you guys already know car audio, know how to build boxes, and this makes sense, you know, obviously, you know, saying you guys are going to know what to do right off the bat. For you beginners, maybe this is a quick lesson on you guys learning how to build a box. Like I said, this is not probably the best way to build it, but I know what works for me. I will go into further detail in another video, probably next week, on advanced Bandpass box building. But for today, you know, this one, you know, is the video for today and the design that we're going to go, just so you can understand it. Like I said, feel free, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me on Instagram at mousextrap. DM me, ask me anything you want to know. You know, I'm open to everybody. You know, subscribe if you haven't. You know, like I said, we will be doing more tutorial videos on everything else. We're gonna get this channel pumping, and, you know, I am gonna start doing the giveaways for all kinds of stuff. If when you subscribe, that just automatically enters and random giveaways that I'll be doing. You know, I could send you a set of, you know, you could win a set of tweeters, mids and highs, some mids, some subwoofers, you know, wiring kits, you know, crimpers, a drill, anything what it takes to do car audio. I will make sure you guys get a chance to win it, all by subscribing, guys. You know what I'm saying? If all it takes is just stop the video, go subscribe, and get back on the video, and, you know, you are a part of, you know, the team now. You know what I'm saying? You know, you guys have me on your side to go ahead and give you guys a hand whenever you need it. You know, like I said, I'm really good on responding you guys back. I'm never going to be any of these other YouTubes that, you know, don't hit you back up, don't give you advice. I do want to help you guys. When I was doing car audio, you know, I did want the help, and guess what? I got it eventually, and, you know, now I'm being able to feed my knowledge into you guys, you know, without nothing. You know, all you guys got to do is subscribe, you know what I'm saying? And I will give you guys secret formulas. This is a secret formula, so you want to go ahead and save that down and give that box a shot. Build it. Let me know what you guys think, if it jams for you. Man, and so much, you know, don't forget the 75 square inch port that is right here, 10 inches deep. You know, if you already know how to build boxes, try building that box for 212s, and, you know, or if you're doing 4, so times everything by 4, and, man, that thing will be a killer. You know, like I said, subscribe, guys, subscribe. We are about to turn this channel up with the car audio stuff. I will be dropping more videos on all the car audio builds that I find that, you know, look good, sound good, and everything, so you guys can get a little bit more aspect of what's car audio like in my area. And when I start building stuff for people, as you know, people ask me to build and stuff, I will post video guys up, give you guys full-blown tutorials on it. We are about to get this thing turned up. Subscribe. I can't, you know, stress that enough. You know, stay tuned with everything, keep up to date with everything, all the cars that we drop on here, videos, everything. Man, we will get this channel pumping. Thanks, guys.